Good morning. Arthur Offaly speaking on behalf of the Arthur Offaly Foundation. Now, my father, Arthur Joseph Offaly, brutally murdered by that so-called Sinn Féin ARA Nothing Squad chief Freddie Scappaticci on the direct command of the British government and that corrupt RUC in 1974. Now, the corrupt coroner's verdict was an open verdict. That was in 1975. Since then, no one has been arrested or even questioned or charged with my father's murder. That is over 45 years ago. This has to be the longest unsolved murder of an innocent victim in the north of Ireland for the past 100 years. The so-called security forces, the so-called Crown Court services, the legal system, the human rights, the Equality Commission, all have turned a blind eye on the orders of that corrupt British government and that corrupt RUC, a so-called police force. All these officers are run by the British government to harass and abuse and intimidate Irish people here in the north of Ireland. Even though I, after many years, found out who murdered my unarmed father. This corrupt country, run by that corrupt British government and the RUC, have done nothing to bring the corrupt Sinn Féin ARA scum who murdered my father to justice. This corrupt British government and the RUC have employed many hundreds of informers from Sinn Féin ARA and from lawless paramilitary groups to murder innocent members of the Irish public just because they were Irish. And the leaders of Sinn Féin ARA knew what was going on and done absolutely nothing to stop it. I have done everything possible to get justice for my poor father, but the so-called agencies in this corrupt country, under the rule of the British government and their chums at RUC, have made sure that I would get no help at all from any of them. Now, I demand to know why that corrupt bunch of scum from the British government allowed their agents and mass murderers, Freddie Scappaticci, total freedom to murder my unarmed father, and that RUC scum who supplied Scappaticci with the Army rifle and ammo to shoot my father were paid for their dirty work by the British government out of the public purse, and all were supplied with the guns to carry out their crimes by the RUC. Now, I demand to know how a so-called country like England, who preached human rights and can employ so-called police force like the RUC to murder innocent members of the public in the north of Ireland. And I am a Catholic whose father was brutally murdered by that RUC and British government agent Scappaticci. My father was shot 5 times in the back at close range while he was running away from him. Now, my father was no threat to this person at all, as Scappaticci and another armed Sinn Féin ARA man both shot my father as he lay on the ground. Now, I demand the British government and that loyalist paramilitary group calling themselves the RUC come clean and admit that they have known for the past 45 years who murdered my father and have withheld vital evidence about his murder, all to hide and protect their Sinn Féin ARA informer Scappaticci. That mass murderer has killed many innocent members of the public on their command, and was told by the British government that he would never be charged for any of his crimes and that he was untouchable. And if those corrupt politicians here in the north of Ireland think that we Irish Catholics are going to sit back and be bullied and abused by that corrupt British government and that Protestant RUC police force and that sham of a parliament of Stormont, we have had enough of this. We want by those DUP, PUP, UUP or any other lawyers groups. we will make sure that our children and grandchildren growing up now will be treated with respect and not like second-class citizens. We the parents want through that ever since partition in 1920. The British government treated Stormont as a Protestant parliament for Protestant people and for Protestant politicians, and the RUC a totally Protestant police force and their big special friends. Now the British courts were run by the British legal system, the British medical system, and all other systems here in the north of Ireland. And Irish Catholics were treated as second-class citizens in our own country in the north of Ireland. Now, we cannot allow that to happen to our children. We have a duty to stand up for them, and that time is now. I call on all responsible parents to think of the life that we had under the British rule. Sinn Féin ERA have let us down badly by siding with the British government, by going into Stormont to share power with them corrupt DUP. Now, our children deserve better. Do not let them down. This is the north of Ireland and always will be a part of Ireland. Now to finish, I have fought for justice for my murdered father, Arthur Joseph Robbie, for 45 years. Now let the parents fight for the justice of our children and our grandchildren here in our own country in the north of Ireland. We, the Rafferty family, lived in Earl Street, right in the heart of Sailortown, and we as children were tortured, abused and threatened by that corrupt RUC and their chums in the bee specials from York Street RUC station beside the doctor's surgery in Great George Street. As children we had nowhere to play, only on the streets. We played football and those RUC would charge down in their Land Rovers and chase us and take our ball away and burst it. If we were swinging on the lamp, they would chase us and cut our ropes down. Playing pitch and toss, we would be chased, and those RUC would stoop so low as they steal the money that was lying on the ground from us. Now my father took me and Tommy, my brother, up to the RUC station in York Street to make a formal complaint about the abuse and harassment that we got from these corrupt RUC. And many a hated row my father had in that police station and with those RUC, and I was proud of him, the way that he stood up to them and took a lot of abuse from them. They threatened to arrest him, but it did not stop my father making his complaints about the abuse and harassment of our Catholic children in the Sailortown area by that Protestant police force. I always remember going up to the RUC station in York Street with my father to complain about the continued abuse of those by those RUC and bee specials on innocent Catholic children. The RUC despised us Catholics and was never off our backs. And the favourite saying by them was, if they stopped you in the street, was, "Get off the street, you Catholic bees, or we will arrest you." While Protestant children at the top end of Earl Street, they had the Grove Park and Alexander Park to play in, with slides, swings and football pitches with real goal posts, and also played golf, and also had a running track for to keep fit. All supplied by that corrupt Belfast City Council in the City Hall. And none of those luxuries were supplied for Catholic children in Sailortown. Now my father fought for me when I was young. Now it is my turn to fight justice for my father, Arthur Joseph Rafferty, murdered by the British government and the British state, and that corrupt RUC, the very same scum who abused us as children. And that mass murderer Scappaticci, aka Stignev, a Sinn Féin area informer, who was lifted and led by the police. To finish, we will make sure that our children and grandchildren growing up now will be treated with respect and not like second-class citizens in our own country. Now, I have a 5-year-old great-grandson, and he knows all about his great-grandfather and who murdered him, and he is called after him Arthur Joseph Rafferty III. And if anything should happen to me, he is to carry on my fight along with a very confident team who I have picked to fight the case. Anyone who would like a tip of this story or any one of my stories can call me on my mobile 07715 921137. Leave your name and address and I will send you a tip free. Thank you. Anyone who has a story to tell and wishes me to air it can call me on my mobile 07715 921137, or I can send a reporter out to get your story, and remember, I will tell your story as you tell me. Nothing will be cut out. Now watch more of my stories on YouTube, ArthurRafferty.com, YouTube Arthur Rafferty, Arthur Rafferty Docker, YouTube Jackspot 2012. That is a tip about the brutal murder of my father by a 5-man gang of Sinn Féin IRA led by Freddie Scappaticci on the orders of the British government, the RUC PSNI and the Special Branch. That Sinn Féin IRA scum Scappaticci carried out their orders on their command. Now my email is arthurrafferty1@gmail.com. Thank you for watching ASNI TV and good morning, and I will see you soon. Now, let the people that lived in Sailortown, we know how we were abused by this British government and the Protestant community there. Now, if you want the same thing to happen to our children, all you have to do is sit back and do nothing. So I demand you to come out onto the streets and let this British government know that we are Irish and we live in Ireland. Good morning, and I will see you soon.